Welcome to the Nail Engineer, and today we're going to be looking at my GlitterArty collection highlights. I'm actually mostly making this video for a nail buddy of mine, Leah, who is just starting out on her nailcotics journey, and I'll be holding her hand through it, which is maybe bad news for her because she's about to get bankrupt. My name is the Nail Engineer and I'm a maniholic. And yeah, I am pretty seriously addicted to all things shiny, as you will know. So really, this is a video for her and all of you out there in YouTube land as well who've heard of GlitterArty, see me using some of their products, and maybe kind of aren't sure what to buy from the website, because I know that there's not always pictures of the glitters on the GlitterArty website, and they don't always put like a picture of the glitter like on the nail. So wherever possible, at the end of this video, I'm going to see if I can like compile a greatest hits, the GlitterArty greatest hits, so that you can see as many of these as possible on the nail, which should be like 95% possible. There's only a few that I haven't actually used on human fingers because I've bought them and then they've not looked exactly like what I wanted, or client changed their mind. You know how it goes. So to save you the same kind of hassle, I'm basically going to just talk you through the range of products that GlitterArty sells, and they sell a hell of a lot more stuff than I have got, because I am still poor. I haven't worked full time for over a year now. Johnny 5 is doing great. I just had my 9-week scan a couple days ago and he's still alive. So all of you out there who were wondering how I'm getting on, yes, he's doing okay. So that's good news. So anyway, I'll talk you through what kind of glitters they've got and which ones are like good, bad, indifferent. In fairness, there's not really any in the bad category. There's maybe a few indifferents. So first up on the glitters, and you'll see here that we've got a mixture of bags and pots, and big pots and small pots. Now most of the GlitterArty glitters are sold in at least these two options, a 5-gram bag or a 10-gram pot. Sometimes the pots go out of stock, but I love the pots because they just make it a lot easier to kind of use. However, the bags are great because they're much cheaper. So if you're not sure if you're going to use a lot of something or if you're going to like it, get a bag and, you know, see how you get on with it, and then you can always buy a larger quantity later. Another thing that you can do, if they're not available in pots from your local drugstore, you can get, you know, the little travel pots and stuff, some of which I've got here for things that don't come in pots, like covered in glitter, my belongings covered in glitter, really. Yeah, stuff like silver leaf. You know, these little pots I think I get from Savers the chemist or somewhere like that, and you get a pack of 3 for 89p, so that's pretty good. So anywho, the GlitterArty glitters come in also different sizes of glitters and different types. So first up, one of the most popular things that you'll find with GlitterArty is a Megamix, and there are a number of Megamixes, including this, my favourite one in the whole world, my favourite glitter ever made, my go-to for any occasion, weddings, Christmas, New Year, goes with everything, just heart dies. And all of the Megamixes are the same thing. They're a mixture of 0.008 glitter, another one of which is here, so that was Champagne Bubbles Megamix, and this is Champagne Bubbles 0.008 mix, and you'll see actually that this contains rose gold and champagne coloured particles, so it's not really a true match for Champagne Bubbles. That's one of my few criticisms. It is really, really nice, but I don't like to put it on the same hand as this. And similarly, this is the Champagne Bubbles Chunky Mix, and this is like a 1mm hex. And you can see again, some of those 1mm hexes are champagne coloured, some of them are rose gold. So back to the Megamixes. The Megamixes are all 0.008, 1mm hex and 2mm hex. And the great thing about this is you can have a mixture of all three on the nail in an encapsulated nail, or you can pick out individual 1mm or 2mm hexes and just kind of place them on the nail. And I'll include some of the ones that I've done with that. I think the 3D geode, the new jade copper ore geode, had some of the bigger pieces because there was like bee and hexagon and like honeycomb patterns on there, so I did them in like a honeycomb design. So anyway, back to what you've got. So you've got your Megamixes, and I really like vintage gold because it's somewhere in between a silver and a gold, a nice pale gold. And this Megamix Plum is just gorgeous, and its perfect partner is the Burgundy 0.008 glitter, which is just lovely. You can burnish this, although it can be like a little bit gappy depending on what kind of base colour you use. So I tend to sprinkle this onto wet gel polish or wet builder gel, cure it, and then fully encapsulate to get like an encapsulated glitter, or as I call them, snow globe nails or paperweight nails, and they just go absolutely gorgeous together. Another really nice Megamix is this one, and I think it was called Platinum. I'll confirm or deny that in the information box below. Actually, as I tell you about these, let's take them out so I don't get confused. So next on the list are Multimixes, not to be confused with Megamixes. Now, Multimixes can be a variety of things. You can see in this Christmas one called Christmas Eve, which was super popular last year, you've got a mix of 1mm hex pieces in different colours. You've got little stars, little bits of tinsel, even some little iridescent discs in there. See the little round one just there? Yeah. And one of my favourite ones of this is this one here, Dragonfly. Dragonfly is so popular because it's got purple, it's got like a sapphire blue, and it's got green in it. So you can use it with all of those colours and get a different look every time. And it's just a really nice consistency. I keep knocking over my tripod. It's a really nice consistency. It's 0.008 and 1mm hex pieces. It's a really nice consistency to use like on a natural nail where you want to keep the bulk to a minimum, as is Arctic Fox, which is actually an iridescent mix, which is also great for Christmas, and it looks different depending on what colours you put it over. Also in the multi-mix category are these matte multi-mixes. Now, I just love the name of these ones, Frilly Knickers. They're so cute. I really like these. These have been quite popular like in spring and summer. My one criticism would be I really wish that there was a paler lilac one. In fact, maybe there will be by the time these kind of surge up again in springtime. Usually these kind of come into stock, so maybe there will be. And this one here, this mint green, is not mint green, so I will just get a pop to show you. In my left hand, that is Madam Glam Minty Glam, and then this is Madam Glam Irresistible, which is definitely an aqua colour, not a mint green. And you can see it's almost exactly the colour of this. So yes, they go real nice together, but I really wish that GlitterArty would bring out an actual mint green one, because that would be so nice for like spring and Easter and stuff. Frilly Knickers Pink, similarly, I really like it, but I just wish there was like a super pale baby pink one, just that little bit softer. And then finally, this was one that wasn't on the website, but Joe actually made up for me, because she's a sweetheart. Because I had a bride who wanted a particular look, and OMG, this was just perfect for her. And I can tell that this is going to be probably quite popular come Christmas, and it's got really small little 1mm hex pieces in. There's even, if you have a look there, that's like I think that's a 0.5mm hex, maybe even less, as well as 0.008 glitter pieces. So that one's really good as well if you don't want to add too much bulk. Okay, so on to the next kind of glitter. How about some fish scales or mermaid sequins? Now, one thing I will say about these two, if you're putting them over black, they look pretty identical. So in hindsight, I don't think that I would have bought both of them. I would have gone for one or the other. Probably this one, because this is a bit kind of in your face and brassy, although quite autumnal, perhaps. And of course, if you would put this one over red, it would look quite nice. Whereas if you put this one over red, it will look maybe a bit clashy. But anyway, so these ones I'm a little bit indifferent. These two, however, I could not be without. I love these. These are so nice. And these look completely different depending on what base colour you put them on, again, because these are actually kind of clear with a blue-red flip on the iridescence, as are these. These are a bit more kind of like red-blue flip or red-gold flip, or even red-green. Yeah, red-green there is. And these are really nice on like a lilac base and on like a deep kind of bluish cornflower base. They just change depending on what you put them on, and they're really good for doing like a little kind of like mermaidy fade. So nearly there now. These are your Superfines, and when I first started using GlitterArty glitters, they actually didn't do much in the way of Superfines. Most of their glitters were 0.008. So I was really pleased when these started coming out, and these ones are my must-haves. Holly Rosey Lea is the perfect partner to Champagne Bubbles, but it's holographic and it's so nice, super fine hollow. Black Eye I haven't actually used on someone yet because no one's been into it, but I think I might use it on myself because it's just gorgeous. It's like red and violet with a little bit of blue in there as well. This is one of the Galaxy mixes, two more of which are Stargazer, which is like a more ready version of Holly Rosey Lea, and Pandora's Cluster, which is, oh, it's just gorgeous. It's really nice on. And these Galaxy mixes are basically mixes of super fine holographic glitters in different colours, and so they add a real kind of like rainbow dimension. They're very kind of like unicorny, so I definitely recommend those. This one I'm a bit indifferent. This one I actually got for free, so I'm not going to complain. I ordered the Vintage Gold Megamix, but unfortunately they sent me the Vintage Gold Hollow instead. And it's not the kind of thing that I would ever wear, because I hate yellowy gold and it's super yellow. But I can see that at some point or another, someone's probably going to be into it. And then last but most definitely not least is Nicki. And oh my god, she is a super holographic, almost chameleon. She's the most holographic of the GlitterArty glitters that I have seen. No, I'm saying GlitterArty glitters because they do a super hollow chrome pigment, holochrome pigment. But Nicki, you can put over a whole bunch of different colours and she will, that was just my pops falling down, she will kind of take on some of that colour but kind of mute it a little bit, make it a bit kind of like dusky. So if you put her on like a pink, for example, then she'll make it look more kind of like dusky pink. If you put her on a bright vibrant lilac, it'll look more of a twilight lilac. So I definitely recommend this one. My box is getting quite empty now. These little things were a revelation to me. These are called tiny AB crystals, and as you can see, they're tiny crystals with an AB coating, which means that it's an iridescent coating which refracts the light in different colours. And aren't they darling? These are really, really good to use, say, in place of nail caviar in between larger gems to make that kind of like claw cluster setting, like when you're doing your cuticle tiaras. So I definitely recommend those. Those are super cute. And we are almost there. Another thing that GlitterArty do are glitter shapes. And as you can see here, these are all leaves, which are very autumnal. And these ones are iridescent, very, very nice. And again, they change colour depending on what base colour you use. These two actually look really similar on the nail. And I have got a pop of these somewhere. Believe it or not, you can only just tell the ones on this side are these ones, and the ones on this side are these ones. And they both look exactly the same. And if I pop some top coat on, you'll see that, yes, those look a bit more orange once you put the top coat on, but when you've got the top coat on both of them, again, they still look really like super similar. So I would say if you're a green girl, go for the green ones. If you're an orange and red girl, go for the orange and red ones. Maybe there's not much point in having both of them. And then finally we've got these really cute little snowflakes, which I will say are a complete pain in the arse if you're working on a natural nail and not with an enhancement. What you really need to do, and some are thicker than others, these iridescent ones here are the thickest, and I think that these silver ones are the thinnest. And if you look, they're quite nicely bendy, and sitting in the middle you've got the pink ones. If I can actually pick one up, now let's just pick like 1,000 up. So if I can actually grasp this, so that one's kind of flexible, as you can see there, but these ones here are really quite rigid. Can you see that? Compared to, that's taking quite a lot of force compared to the other ones. So what you really need to do with these is give them a good old squish, and you can do this like over the handle of a detail brush or something, just to kind of like crunch it up a bit and give it a curve before you put them on the nail. Otherwise you will end up with thick ass nails trying to encapsulate these as they kind of sit and just kind of straddle your C curve. If you can, you can't see there. If I can just hold it in place, see how it kind of like sticks up at one side or another. So you really have to work with those ones, but they are kind of worth the hassle. And now the last of my favorite glitters, this is holographic rose gold, which isn't really that rose gold. It's coming off as more rose gold than it actually is on camera, but if you just put it next to the Holly Rosey Lea, you can probably see there that this actually looks pink by comparison, but it is the same colour as the Champagne Bubble Megamix. So I would say that this is my preferred partner for that, and this would be my preferred partner for the chunky mix, which is a bit paler. Then we've got, this is one of the first Superfine hollows that GlitterArty came out with, and this is the Fuchsia hollow, but actually it's got quite a kind of purpley tone to it. I would say that this one from another manufacturer is more of a fuchsia or cerise. You can see it's like a warmer tone, but actually this one is described as being plum, and it's not plum, so I don't know. Why can't glitter manufacturers just like be colour specific? I wish they had RAL charts maybe that's a bit nail engineering. Anyway, and then here we've got a couple of 0.008 mixes. This one's Coastal Waters. This one is actually called Heart of the Ocean. And these are very like the Galaxy mixes, except unlike those which are like super fine, these are 0.008. This Coastal Waters is a really nice mix of like a periwinkle blue and quite a violet purple, and it's just so nice. And I think the purple in this is holographic, but the periwinkle blue is just metallic. Whereas with Heart of the Ocean, all of these are holographic 0.008, and you've got aqua in there, you've got purple in there, and you've definitely got some cerise in there, which, if that exists, why didn't they put it in that pot? Because that's much more pink than what's in there. And you can see that mixture, oh, it's just so nice. And this is also another popular one. So I definitely recommend those. Ones that for me have been kind of damp squibs, this Multimix Magic Carpet, it's just no one's ever wanted it, and it's got some kind of strange green iridescent flecks in there that seems to like put people off, and there's red as well. I think if it was a bit more just like kind of purple and pink tones, it might have got used. Starburst, I've used it once, but it's got, I think it's a mixture of the holographic vintage gold actually, and something else, but it's just, it's a really odd combination. And then this one, Firecracker, which on the website looks like it would be a perfect match to a chameleon flake called Electric Shock, but actually it turns out that the red particles are actually bright orange, and again with these strange kind of red-green flip discs in there, and like a kind of Cadbury's purple. It's just, oh, I don't know, it'll be someone's jam, but no, it's just not really mine. So that's all of my GlitterArty glitters. I hope that you found this useful and that you enjoyed. Thank you very much for watching, and I will see you next time.